Good morning, Speed Gaming fans, and welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer SGLIVE Tournament. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and joining me today is Lord Fizzlebeef. How you doing, Lord Fizzlebeef? I'm doing great. I'm here by myself. I got a lot of words to fill. I got a lot of time to do. We're getting set up. We got one of our I believe semifinals race. DarkmoonEX versus Luffy on deck. They're getting just the last little bit of setup thingies done with the thingy. Question in chat, is that a lure shirt I spy? I would never tell. Oh, and here we go. We got some stuff up. So let's see what we've got today. We're running our League Week 4 flag. So we got two Force classes, and it looks like we're staring at a Forced Fighter and a Forced Black Mage. Luffy going with Fighter Red Black. Very strong combo, leaning heavy into black magic. We'll take whatever white magic we happen to find, but we're not overly concerned with it. Dark Moon looking to go with the same setup. All right, and here we go. 10 short seconds until we're off. And we're off. First stop in Canaria. Let's see what we can have today. White magic, what do we got? Invis 2 is not the worst. Meanwhile, over in Black Magic, we got Lightning 3, we got Lock. We got a cheeky Saber if we have dreams of making a red mage do things. Let's go over and check the armor shop. Bad iron armor, but good chain armor. With those pluses and minuses involved, I think that chain armor is actually better than that iron armor. Cloth plus 4 is it. If you're really scared about your mages taking melee, you could pick it up. It's super cheap, but otherwise I think we're going to leave it. And off we head to the Temple of Fiends. Both runners doing a quick safety save outside. Gonna open some boxes real quick. We got, hey, that cloth plus 4 armor we just talked about. It's even freer. Meanwhile, we got an iron plus 4 helmet and like $2 grand. Dark Moon first up to the Garland plate. Gonna strap some bad armor to the fighter. Let's begin. We're on wait, Lightning 3, Lightning 3. Well, that was fast. Luffy opening with a mage stick. I wonder if Dark Moon forgot to check his items, but we're through to the king. We got Ruby, and we got the key. So Ruby's going to unlock 2 checks as soon as we're able to get out into the wider ocean. Key, not going to unlock anything by itself, but it is required for Topher. And Dark Moon really wants boxes out of the gate. Luffy does too. We're going to check these free boxes real quick. We got a grand, a silver dagger, another 1,000 gold. Silver plus 4 helmet, flame minus 1 shield, and 70 gold. So the silver plus 4 helmet is, it's roughly a pro ring worth of absorption. It's not great, but that flame shield, even at minus 1, like we still get a heck of a lot of absorb out of it, and we get ice resistance out of it. Nothing notable in the Canaria shop, but we're going to load up on Pures before we go. Is Dark Moon going to do a Matoya check? No. We're going to just press forward. Is Is Luffy going to do a Matoya check? No, Luffy is also confident in what he's got right now. Darkmoon going to check Magic first. What do we got in white? We got Fade. We got Fade sighting. Meanwhile, over in Black Magic, we got Lightning 2. And Confuse if we have dreams of like a cheeky early carry dive, but I don't think either of our runners are planning on that. Let's go say hi to Bicky and his 9 friends. Hi, Bicky and his 9 friends. Darkmoon remembering the Mage Stick and a couple of Lightning 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 9 pirates get a turn before Darkmoon figures out where his AoE is. Luffy having significantly better turn order, and our runners are as even as it gets. And we got an Oxyale. So we only need 3 orbs in the flag set. And the ability to get into Fiend dungeons that are not Volcano is pivotal for identifying where Go mode is. So we've got Oxyale. We've got the key to a second dungeon. Meanwhile, over in the armor shop, we got Silver +1 bracelets. That's a lot better than that Cloth +4 we had. Luffy wandering west. Gonna check out Dwarves real quick. Darkmoon heading east. Dwarves only having around 6 grand in gold. Snubbing the Hooray Dwarf, you hate to see it. Luffy on the hunt for some keylock boxes, maybe a cheeky tile check. We'll see how this works out. It's Darkmoon, man of my own heart, heading straight into Ice Cave. The Northwest boxes don't pan out. The first tile, I mean, this is good enough to get us over level 10. And the wrong kind of eye tile that immediately punishes him by detonating the red mage and the black mage. And the fighter. Well, we didn't need anything in there, so we're leaving. So Luffy headed into Marsh Cave. Going to check the incentive that's in there. Probably going to get data on that before we see data on the incentive out of ice. Checking some boxes along the way, hoping for anything resembling a weapon. A silver +3 gauntlet does not do the job. But we got a Bane -1 sword. Not a weapon by itself, but solves kind of a lot of problems in the mid-game. A free Pro Ring +4. Darkmoon getting a free ribbon +2. There is an incentivized ribbon in the flag set, so if he chases that down, he'll have 2 of them. Mage tiles, nothing great. We got a Vorpal -3. That's not an endgame weapon. It's got a little bit too much minus power in front of it for my taste. Chat throwing appropriate shade at the Vorpal. Today it deserves it. Today it's really phoning it in. A -3 Vorpal is like, I would argue, worse than a silver sword at this point. Anything else we got good in the 6 chest room? We're bypassing the tile. Perhaps low on resources. Oh, low on party members. We're missing our front wall meat shield. Meanwhile, Luffy in Marsh getting the ship. Very likely to be required. Not guaranteed. Very likely. Meanwhile, Darkmoon getting a black shirt. Man, this ice cave is loaded. We got Pure Potion, we got 2 grand, and we got Cabin. And we got a Seafood Party Pack that ambushes. Dark Moon staring off at the ceiling, wondering what he possibly could have done to deserve this. And back on the horse we go. Meanwhile, Luffy seems to be having a bit of trouble carrying this boat out of Marsh Cave. We're missing our Black Mage. Do we have any heals? We've decided we don't want to chug heals at this point. I wonder if these were casualties from the tile fight, because I did see a Frost Giant, but I didn't see if it took anything down. Meanwhile, Darkmoon, discovering that the mages that we scoffed at 5 seconds ago have Cremate, which is a little more than his party in its current state can handle. We're already down to Black Mage, but we want some things. We want that ribbon. We really want that ribbon. And Luffy checking out the Elf Armory. Elf Armory looking an awful lot like the Northwest Castle Armory, a.k.a. garbage. Let's check some magic. Level 3, what do we got? We got Warp. That'll make that Ice Cave dive a heck of a lot easier. We got anything fun in white magic? Cure 3. Cure 3's not bad, but we're opting to pass on it. Possibly due to limited funds. What we got in level 4 white magic? We got White Locked Life 2. That's awkward. And over in black, we got... Zap's not bad. In the absence of Nuke, I don't hate taking a Zap. Zap tends to solve a lot of problems that elemental magic won't solve. It's great against golems that resist everything. Well, it's not great. It's fine against golems that resist everything. It's not bad against mancats. It's a solution for Lich. Not that we desperately need one of those. And we're off in the boat, headed for Crescent. Meanwhile, Darkmoon deciding that he really, if he's going to have to do this Ice Cave again, he really wants levels. And this is not a bad fight to take to get them, assuming we make it to the other side of it. The check in the Crescent armor shop reveals nothing. What do we got here for armor? The Pro Ring plus 4s in Crescent Lake, but for kind of a lot. Level 6 revealing Exit and Cure 4 after promotion. Not Quad X, I guess, if you want it out of 6. And the Sages give us the Canal, so if this Ice Cave is Floater, Darkmoon has a huge advantage in lead. If it's not Floater, then... If it's not Floater, then Luffy is gonna have a bad time.
Oh no, the fishy. It's gobbled up by the fish. Yeah. Did you know Kiwi's fat we get hot dogs today? Yes.
Meanwhile, out in the ocean, Sahax with Toxic. Now, very scary by itself, however, if we had Pro Rings, like that free one we got. Toxic is not scary. Trance, on the other hand, is always scary. Trance being non-elemental. It's not terribly accurate, but it doesn't need to be because you can't resist it. And it's just a whole party lockdown. Luffy decides to reset out. Resets all the way back to Crescent Lake. That's a bit of a hike. It's Darkmoon. Wincing before stepping on the tile. Manages to not get ambushed, but we only have one Fade left in the chamber. but we get it off. And, okay, the lobsters are down. The biggest threat in this fight is down. Sea snakes do deal some damage, but it's probably not going to be enough to make it through that meat shield at this point. We're on black shirt and chug strats, just as Nasir intended. Meanwhile, over in Titans, we got the herb and a katana +2 if we should ever happen to bump into a thief on the side of the road. Or we can use it now because apparently the fighter has legendary swords. Meanwhile, Darkmoon getting the crown. We don't know what that is yet. It could be anything. It could even be an airship. But it's not because Luffy finds the floater over in Sarda. So, Darkmoon getting stuck in the early game in Ice Cave a little bit. However, he does have a fighter in a red mage up to level 16. That's pretty big for 14 minutes into the game. Luffy does not have those levels, but what he does have is progression, exploration, item checking, a flying hot dog.
I don't know. I thought it was a Sith Master. And once again, he's a wall now.
16 shots with the rolling shield, and he'll be done. We're looking at probably a mid-48.
Most likely.
So we're going to do the herb turn in real quick.
Bounces one off the wall. There are no trick shots in this game.
Darkmoon refilling on heal potions. We got a cube. Cube is one of the more awkward items to bump into because it's only half of the keys to a dungeon. Ooh, but Darkmoon having the ability to pick up some pro rings. How many are we going to go for? Are we going to go for the full 3, or are we just going to go for 2 and let that ribbon just be like the good enough?
Come on down to the prices
Right, so it looks like we'll be getting joined by a second.
Meanwhile, Luffy headed to Bahamut. Going to see what we dig out of this. This is the Adamant. Anything else in here that's fun? Not so far. Dragon Sword +4 is not bad. It's almost certainly better than anything we got right now, except for that katana that Darkmoon's rocking. Oh, Luffy has it as well. Maybe Luffy's always had it. Solo comms is hard, y'all.
A couple route differences that I saw. You went to Chameleon right after.
Luffy is going to take his Oxyale and just take on the Onrak continent. I love this play. Sea Shrine, I mean, it's no Mirage Sky, but if you need to fix your levels, Sea's a pretty good idea. So let's see what we've got in Waterfall today, other than birds.
Basically, right before the last tick, you buffer the input so you just fire. And I didn't get the buffer right, so I only got 11.
Luffy taking Waterfall fights to get all the way to level 11, while Darkmoon's still sitting pretty at 16. What do we got for a tile here? Nothing great. We got a robot. Robot with tail. If we really had visions of promoting, this is not bad. Legendary Swords kind of throws a wrench into that calculation because we already have access to the weapons we want. So at this point, it's kind of a question of like what armor and what magic do we need. And I have not. So we've cleared out 1 through 4 magic, and I've not seen fast or temper. So that's a problem. So I'm thinking maybe we promote. And Luffy bypasses Sea Shrine. Decides he doesn't want anything to do with it right now. Are we going to promote and go back, or do we have visions of skipping it entirely?
Hell yeah! Very congrats on your PB. Alright, so with that, this is Metroid Master signing off. I will see you all next mission. Later.
So we got our promotion. And we're heading further away, so I guess we're just going to bypass Sea Shrine for now. But the question is, where are we going? We're going to Adamant turn in and see if this is a rod. Nope, we got Lazy Dwarves. Lazy Dwarves confirmed. And the fetch chain continues. But at least we have the airship so we can go turn that bottle in right now if we want. Opening yet more boxes, looking for something, only finding cash. That's probably not what we want. A gold +2. We'll take that. We're going to stick that on the fighter for now until we find something better. Heading in a vaguely Ice Cave Volcano-like direction. Bypassing both of those. Bottle turn-in, mayhaps? Bottle turn-in it is. Meanwhile, Darkmoon is apparently stuck in the cremate seed, as that's all he's able to see basically anyone ever have. But he does get his boat, and he's got warp. Level 8, Brack and Temper. That's a bad time. I missed the level 7 Black Magic shop. But Luffy's got the incentive ribbon. By the time we hit Ice Cave, I suspect he might not be opening terribly many more boxes, so he might miss that second ribbon. We're going to go do ordeals right now in search of... I mean, the big ticket items are the loot and the rod. The chime would not be bad. Darkmoon going to do crown turn in real quick. What do we got? It's the chime. So there's no chime in ordeals, but we may find loot or rod. We'd also find crystal, which is not the worst turn in, and slab, which is the worst turn in. Luffy also still on a tile hunt. The room he just went in, the box that's in there, is what's referred to as a linked chest. That chest is linked with another box up on the top floor. Whichever one you open, you will get the contents of the box, and then the other one will be empty. So really, at this point, the only reason to hit that box in the pillar maze is because you want to know what the grind tile is. I suspect we're on the hunt for either I or Agama, maybe a Zombie D if we're willing to settle. Darkmoon unhappy at finding the wrong eye, but at least he's able to get away. All right, Darkmoon headed in a Titans-like direction. I'm going to check level 5 magic first. We got Red Learnable Heal 3. That's pretty good. And we got Immediately Learnable Nuke. That will help a little bit, but we're going to be in Problem Town come Topher time on the back of that level 8 Temper. An Ice +5 sword out of Ordeals. I think I would have that over the Katana for now, but by the time I hit Topher, I would probably swap back over. Without a lot of levels, that Katana is not going to do much. You need a lot of attacks per attack command to really make it pop off. The Ice +5, I think, is just going to be a lot more base power. And Darkmoon finds a Katana. And Luffy finds the slab. Blarm, blarm. But Darkmoon gets the floater. Gonna go get his flying hot dog momentarily. Whereas Luffy starting to run out of checks, looking for an overworld grind. This is the level of desperation we're at. This is a long run off the power cycle, but we do get our prized stake, our fire-breathing stake. Our fire-breathing stake with under 470 health. Darkmoon over in the Earth Cave looking for options. We find slimes. Slimes with frost, so this kind of looks not great. Second encounter in this desert quadrant, we got sandworms. Taking the sandworms, not awful, but it's a lot of steps before we get to the prize at the bottom of the cereal box, so we're going to head elsewhere. And Darkmoon finds Gersharks behind the slimes in the Hall of Giants. Decides, nope. Luffy now in Melmond. Gonna check armor shop real quick. There's our gold +2 bracelets. If we want some more of them, we do. Meanwhile, Darkmoon getting a little slowed down by the Sayhags, but doesn't fall to the toxic. Slab turned in. Floater good. So 26 minutes in. Luffy still holding on to the exploration lead, but this could turn quick if he isn't able to get his levels up to the same height that Darkmoon is currently at. Also worth noting that I don't believe we've seen a vendor item, so we are currently on the hunt for a vendor item something with a high likelihood that it's going to lead to either a loot or a rod. All right, slab turned in at Togotown. What do we got? We got a loot. So what we've got now is because the crown turns into the chime, somewhere in a shop there is a crystal that will turn into the rod. Level 8 Fire 3, that's awkward. Level 7 on-rack fast. AKA the kind the Red Wizard can't learn. So level 7 fast, level 8 temper. I have concerns about this Topher dive, especially with the very, very low levels that we are currently rocking. I believe the only two shops we haven't checked are On-Rack and... No, I think we did look at Gaia, so I think it has to be at On-Rack.
So we're gonna try and get all our matches done. Are you guys planning to restream the finals if possible?
Da 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 da. All right. So Crystal will turn into Rod. So if Luffy doesn't mind missing out on Mirage Sky, he's got his go mode in hand right now. We just got to go do some Fiend dungeons, and we got to dig up a whole crap load of levels. Luffy's still opening boxes. I wonder what we're looking for. I would not be unhappy to see a power gauntlet at this point. I think that would be the top of my list of wants. Some armor would be nice, but really we need to fix our offense problem, and an endless source of saber is what the doctor recommends. Dark Moon getting the slab out of ordeals. Which we know turns into the loot. Luffy also checking tiles. A bold strategy deep in Krakenside Sea Shrine, but I think that's an indication of how desperate we currently are. Only checking the first tile, seem to be bypassing the rest of them. Dark Moon still on the hunt of the vendor item, slowly piecing together that, nope, it's a non-rack, you gotta go there. Is it in the caravan shop? Nope, it's a non-rack, you gotta go there. Meanwhile, Luffy's Fighter and Red Mage have just crossed the level 20 mark. Pretty good. Darkmoon opting to do Waterfall before taking on Sea Shrine. Gonna get the tail. We'll see if he promotes or just decides, the heck with it. I got my stuff, I gotta go. And that's a sneaky black belt hiding behind the Kraken. We're going with some Bane Sword strats. Test swing out of the katana, 2 hits, 24, thanks. Fade for 105. Incoming Blaze. Does a number to the mages, not so much to the knight. Bane Sword ineffective. We wanted to turn up the volume, but we're out of basically all our magic. Kraken gives us a free turn with ink. Katana swing. 4 hits, 114. Bane Sword. Nothing. Nuke. For some damage because I get distracted by Paralysks turning one of the party members of Darkmoon's party into stone. Ink for another turn. Let's try Katana swing. Yes. Nuke. 290. Bane Sword. Ineffective. Kraken's still there. Starting to run low on resources. Bane Sword. No. Four hits, 196. Kraken still there. 4 hits, 92 damage. Down goes Kraken. Luffy picking up some houses on the way out. Doing a drive-by past Topher. We're going to be there soon. Not quite yet. We got to turn in this crystal, get our rod, get our last key item. So Luffy's going to bypass ice entirely, so we're definitely not getting that optional ribbon over there. We get an X-Cal -1. We get our Opal +2 armor. That is a thing on Luffy's I would like to have list. Onward to Volcano. Almost certainly still looking for some kind of grind at this point. Fire tile, save us. Nope, that's a giant. Darkmoon getting a cube. He might also be in go mode if he turns in the slab immediately, but man, that crystal's right there, so we're probably just going to have all the dungeon items. Meanwhile, Gurworm tile save us. Nope, it's wizards, and they turn someone to stone. Ooh, ice +5 armor. We'll take that. Comment in chat. Passed on the black belt with fast and temper at 7 and 8 and no power bunk. That is a bold move. I tend to agree at this point, if not for the fact that we do have a katana, and if we just get enough levels to get a little bit of fast and temper power for like Tia and Chaos, we could probably bully the first few fiends with excessive nukes. But we need to solve this level problem. Seems like Luffy's done with opening boxes largely, except for the freest of free ones. Both runners snubbing the Hooray Dwarf, making me immensely sad. All right, here we go. We got ourselves a carry fight, guarding a white mage that we're not going to take. What are we doing? Swing fade new. Katana swing, 2 hits 99. Incoming blizzard. Quite a lot to those mages. Fade goes out for 284. Nuke goes out for 150. We might not have mages for much longer. 7 hits 7 damage against the knight. Fade for 113. Katana swing. 3 hits 257. Carry still there. Nuke. 191 terminated. That's Luffy's second orb. And we are taking a white mage. Fascinating. What white magic did we want? There was the level 3 or 4 life 2. That might not be the worst idea in the world, and it wouldn't take terribly long to get charges in it, but it would be strapped to a very weak white mage. That probably isn't going to survive long enough to get those charges off. We get a little extra cure 3 for the trouble. We can also get a low-ish level... Fade was level 2. All right, so we get a Fade Totem that will be there until, whatever. Any number of AoEs that take it down. There's level 4 life 2. Luffy headed for Earth, gonna look for that third orb. Still searching for a grind tile. We're gonna have slimes and something else we didn't want. The 3 to 5 slimes are not great, and even worse when they do frost like that. That's not going to give us levels on the thing that we want to remain alive. Gershar Harkwizahag, I feel like, may lead to similar results. But we're down to a single Light Warrior, and we've got this Mage Stick, and we're largely immune to frost damage. Let's do a weird solo slime grind. Meanwhile, Darkmoon showing carry 1 absolutely no respect whatsoever. Opens with heal 3 and some lock. Test swing X-Cal. 4 hits 313. That's the number. Gonna go with some more heal 3 just to be on the safe side and go for Confuse. Just in case. Confuse doesn't land. Sleep lands on 2 of the party members, locks them out of a turn. Heal 3 goes off. Final level 5 charge is going to be on heal 3. 4 hits 152 out of that X-Cal. Incoming fire 2 does kind of a decent chunk across the board. More lockdown strats as we swing in. 4 hits 258 carry still there. Confuse, ineffective. Incoming ice 2. Not a heck of a lot from that. More confuse, ineffective. Confuse is not sticking today. Katana swing, or X-Cal swing. 4 hits 305. Down goes carry. That's Darkmoon's first orb. And he bypasses the white mage. Meanwhile, Luffy committed to grinding this knight into low Earth orbit. We got some things. If we hit 29 or so, I believe that'll get us a weapon breakpoint on that katana. And then we'll just hope for the best. We got a ribbon. I don't believe we've picked up any evasion gear. That'll make man moding a little sketch, a lot sketch. Darkmoon getting the news that Temper is level 8. He's as happy as everyone else is. But he gets a second ribbon, so that's not nothing. And that opal armor is apparently not equipable. We're getting a window into the fighter malice right here. No promo armor for you, good sir. Here, have a bracelet. That's as good as you get. An audible, that's going to suck from our opal armorless DarkmoonEX. All right. And Darkmoon discovers that he has looped himself. Smashes reset all the way back to Volcano. That's gonna negate our Gaia stop. But we weren't there that long, and we're a heck of a lot closer to Melmond than we were previously. I'm okay with this. Luffy still opening boxes, even in Earth Cave. This has got to be for Power Bonk. I can't see us opening boxes for any other reason right now. I mean, maybe a ruse weapon, like the defense sword or the ruse stick. Maybe one of those, but I got to imagine this is a play for Power Bonk. Luffy taking some awkward fights in Earth Cave. I looked away. Maybe the birds did something. Or maybe we just want levels on that white mage. Probably the second one. Meanwhile, Darkmoon here back on the scene. Gets his tempers. between the level 8 temper and the free extra ribbon, like stopping a guy, like rediving Gaia, perfectly sensible plan right there. Luffy opening boxes on Earth 4. Checking tiles on Earth 4. We're still digging for that eye tile, and we don't find it. Darkmoon gets his loot. That puts him into go mode. Luffy's largely even given up on opening boxes. This is just a play for tiles at this point. The Earth B4 tiles are not going to help him. All we've really got left to look at is the locked TOF tiles and the loot plate tile. Stupid undead pack saying, slow down. Meanwhile, Darkmoon trying to take some easy levels on some sandworms, but the sandworms are like, nah, we see where this is going. We out. So Darkmoon going to go through Mirage Sky. I expect to see a lot of levels taken in here. Luffy has kind of surpassed his level advantage already. Well, surpassed it on the 9. The rest of the party is a little suspect, but like, we got levels on that night. Luffy deciding that running away is taking too long, so we're just going to mage stick him. Now onto the floor of the mighty fiend of Earth, the Lich. Gonna take some free mummies real quick just to pad those levels just a touch more. Up to 25. Yeah, we want to be north of that. Oh, chat pointing out that Luffy did in fact wipe during the slime grind. That explains some things. And here we are, the mighty fiend of Earth, the terror of the Earth Cave, slayer of Malmend, scourge of the... and it's gone. Luffy bypassing the Red Wizard, definitely committed to the party we have at this point. I don't blame him. Into the airship, off we go. What was there in Northwest Castle that we wanted? We don't have a crown, and I don't recall these tiles being anything special. Unless we're going to try and set up solo fighter grind against Frost Wolves. We're going to do solo fighter grind against Frost Wolves. Meanwhile, Darkmoon on the Bridge of Destiny. Would probably not say no to a war mech right now if we bumped into it. We do say yes to airs. Always say yes to airs. Or we say no to airs. We say something to airs. The oxygen deprivation gets to you when you're in space a little too long. Do we get our war mech? No, we don't. Darkmoon versus Tia for Orb 2 as Luffy decides that the Frost Worlds ain't paying out the way we want them to. Gonna take our sad solo fighter over to these tiles. Hail Mary, what do we get? What is the prize? Is more wizards. Oh, what? We're gonna have to fix this somehow. Is this gonna be an ice dive? Oh, this is gonna be an ice dive. I don't think we're gonna be happy with this. I don't remember seeing anything good in there. Meanwhile, Darkmoon actually gets the Bane Sword to work. Poison Smoke terminated. Gonna take a Meat Shield Thief, and off he goes. 2 orbs lit. I will say, at least Luffy didn't revive any of the party before jumping into Ice Cave. So we got, like, all the experience is going to get funneled to that fighter. Frosty Tile, is this going to be good enough for us? Oh, it's a lot of evasion on them. I would be suspicious of it. But he, against all odds, finds that second ribbon. Meanwhile, Darkmoon having a heck of a time trying to get those Thief any levels, but I suspect we're not super broken up about it. He was never going to do damage. Well, Luffy got the Knight to over level 30. So that's not awful. Mage Style is going to be a bit rough on the healing, potentially. Meanwhile, Darkmoon decides he's done messing around with the Undead Pack. Going to nuke him down. I suspect that at this rate, Darkmoon is going to beat Luffy into Topher. Darkmoon stepping up to the plate for Speed Bump 1. Can he jump it? Let's find out. Oh, showing respect to Lich 1. You hate to see it, but here we go. Can we one-round this? Nuke for 336. Nuke for 226. We can consider that Speed Bump jumped. Darkmoon's got 3 orbs and is headed somewhere. Is he? Are we? We are searching for magic. We are searching for magic. Okay. Crisis averted. We found our fast. We're gonna abandon ship. We're not gonna do 4 orbs. What kind of silly person would be silly enough to do 4 orbs in week 4? Definitely nobody on this crew has ever done that. Meanwhile, Luffy seems to be hanging his hat on the mage grind. crossing 36 and still going. We've decided that we are not taking any risks at all. Dark Moon taking a peek inside the lock boxes. Going to see if we find anything over here. Is Wizards. And we say, not today, Pisco Demons. We are headed into Topher. First into Topher at, call it 5350. We find a mummy tile, but we're done with levels. The levels time was before. The Killing Fiend 2 times is now. Or maybe the standing here and getting hit in the face by mummies time is now. Time is variable, and a mystery to most. Maybe it is time for killing mummies because they just won't go away, and they just won't let us go away. Or maybe we wanted a drink break. Stealthy pro tip. If you're ever running Final Fantasy Randomizer and you get thirsty, just pull a 9-pack, cast all your AoEs, and you got enough time to get a drink of whatever you have next to you. No, we're taking a third floor grind. We dumped the nukes on the mummies, so we've decided since we're already in a grinding mood, let's just take it the rest of the way. Ooh, only 5 bad men. You hate to see it. But under 240 health, that's not bad. Meanwhile, Luffy, we have 5 hits on this katana. And we're still going north. Passing 41, stopping at 41. And away he goes. Gonna take a few more trash fights on the way out. Dark Moon doing a third floor grind. Gonna see how high we get this party. My guess is we stop around somewhere between 28, 30, or when we run out of gas, one of the two. Luffy still opening boxes. We will find this power gauntlet. We will find it, and it will be ours. I mean, we're not going to find it here, but, like, at some point, someday, Luffy will find his power gauntlet. Oh, A+ comment in chat. You'd think the mummies would appreciate someone trying to wrap things up. Badum-tsh. All right, Dark Moon warping out. Probably going to be done with the grind right around the same time that Luffy has gone to the party member store, bought himself a new group of friends. And we're going to be in Topher right almost at the same time between the gear jiggling and the flying back to Canaria for an in-stay / some more heal pots / reinflating the thief. Luffy now into Topher. Call it 50. Oh, we are pessimistic of our chances. So we're going to do the top tier strat of blowing up the black orb, going out and saving. So we don't have to blow it up every next time after that. Hand in hand, in Topher we go. Remember to always bring your accountability buddy with you when you're going to the dangerous place. Luffy first out of the vampire pack, or the mummy pack fight. Through the door onto floor 2. Dark Moon just behind. Both runners on the same encounter table. They must have both done a hard reset before entering. Luffy opting to take a slime fight. Dark Moon opting to take a frost dragon fight. Both runners not entirely confident with their levels. Luffy opting to pass on the worm fight. Probably not confident in his melee power to one-round them. We can definitely, like, get rid of one of the Frost Dragons, but probably not the other on the same turn. Luffy on the earth floor. Apparently not taking the worm fight was correct because they had over 400 health. Luffy passing on the Gurmedusas. We're done with that whole leveling thing. Oh, that was... someone got turned to stone. Darkmoon deciding, I mean, we can throw out a thing. That is confirmed stone touch on those Gurmedusas. Our single-digit level meat pinata has been turned to stone. Meanwhile, blink and you miss it. There goes Speed Bump 2. Darkmoon deciding, I don't need my meat shield for this Lich 2 fight. It's Lich 2. We'll swing, we'll fade, we'll nuke. Nuke goes out for 314. Fade goes out for 91. Incoming swirl. Well, that would have dumpstered the thief. 4 hits, 576. Down goes Lich 2. Carry 2 already on the screen. 5 hits, 335 out of that fighter. Lock 2 going off after the nick of time, but I don't think we really need it. Fade going out for 145. Are we on more fade strats? We are on. That white mage doesn't have fade. Can't help but notice that. Cure 3 goes off. 6 hits, 476. Carries targeting, hits an error, takes down the white mage, the arguably least functional person in combat in this party. Lightning 3 chip damage for 42. Luffy is first through carry 2. Darkmoon still leaving that thief turned to stone. I imagine we'll see it back right around the time we pull Kraken 2. Ooh. And carry takes down the fighter. Darkmoon resets, heads back in. Meanwhile, Luffy getting ambushed by Waters. Slowly approaching the Kraken 2 fight. Moving our ribbon back onto the Kraken. We're going to go swing, fade, lock strats. Fade goes out for 151. Incoming Lightning 2. Just about the best turn we could expect from a Kraken 2. Lock 2 goes out. Test swing. 4 hits, 372. Not bad. We're going to keep using lock. We're really scared of evasion. 3 hits, 351. Cheeky zap. Doesn't get through. Incoming melee, 10 hits, 665. Our knight cannot survive another one of those. We're on heal 3 and chug strats, but the Kraken gets there first. Luffy resets out of Topher. All that power leveling is nothing in the face of a melee-happy Kraken. Darkmoon rounding the corner onto the earth floor. Luffy headed for Onrak. Headed for C. The great mighty quest for the power gauntlet continues as Darkmoon hits trouble on the earth floor. Missed what it was, but we decided to reset. Oh, chat corrected me. He is making the swap to black belt. That's what it is. Okay, that makes sense. For some reason, I thought the black belt was an earth. Meanwhile, Darkmoon's party crossing 30. And I think we did that with a minimum of resources spent. So right now, if Darkmoon has the opportunity to make it through Kraken 2 and possibly on to Chaos, level 30 in the 3 important party members is not bad, but we're on a timer here. We've got optimistically this dive before that beef belt storms in and just rumbles the place. It's already 42. It's got minus 10 MDAV. This doesn't matter. It's got some automatic resistances. We're just going to slap a ribbon on just to cover the rest. I've already dropped whatever the other thing was out of my mind. It didn't seem important. Meanwhile, Darkmoon already back to Lich 2. Already pre-refrigerated that ninja. Makes it through Lich 2. Luffy, with the black belt, back on the scene. Here comes the carry 2 fight. How are we going to handle it this time, knowing what we know previously? We're going to go with some Invis 2 strats. And we're going to fast that fighter. Incoming melee takes the fighter down to 303. Unlikely to survive a second one of those. Invis 2 goes off after the nick of time. Are we on Cure? Are we on Evade? We're on Lock and Nuke. Swing goes out. 6 hits, 593. Fade goes out for 129. Nuke goes out. Can we get there? 202, down goes carry 2. Whole party still up. Let's go. Consuming one of those heal 3 charges in a desperate bid to save time on healing. Meanwhile, the Great Wall of Muscle itself is rounding the corner on the earth floor. Gonna hit Lich 2 like a freight train running over a ham sandwich. Darkmoon taking a couple extra fights, or maybe we were just scared of the seafood party pack and didn't want to take any chances. I could buy either. Doesn't get the ambush from the waters. And here comes the punch. 10 hits, 1147. That speed bump has been successfully jumped. Darkmoon on the scene with the Kraken. We got some invis strats. We got some fast strats. The meat shield is out and in the front slot. Lightning 2 comes out. Does Lightning 2 things. Swing from the katana. 1 hit, 1 damage. Thanks, Thief. Invis 2 goes off. Meanwhile, Luffy stepping up to carry 2. We had the swing from that X-Cal before the fast went off. Didn't seem to be too good. Lock goes off. 5 hits, 322. Not great, but that Thief did its job and was successfully detonated. But we're now out of guards. 3 hits, 285. Kraken still there. Lock goes off. Incoming melee tags the Knight, but for less than half its health. Hope remains that these Invis 2s will prevent a second melee shot from taking it down. Nuke goes out for 105. Swing out of X-Gal. 7 at 794. Down goes Kraken 2. Darkmoon off into uncharted territory. Luffy right on his heels. We're jiggling the ribbon around. Doing a quick bit of healing before we walk up and make some calamari. Gonna go with some lock 2, and some punch. Black Mage gets detonated. Lock 2 goes off. Is the black belt successful? 4 hits, 374. That's not good. Do we have any fast? We don't. Incoming melee detonates the red mage. It's 1v1. 5 hits, 683. The black belt is through, but at what cost? As Darkmoon pulls Tia 2. 4 hits, 215 out of the X-Cal. Ice 2, not going to do much. Invis 2, we're still a little scared about incoming melee damage. Some Whizvamps attempt to hug Luffy. He resists. Walks up to Tia 2. 7 hits, 549. Tia still there. Ice 2 for 36. Punch. 9 hits, 700 something. Tia still there. 8 hits, 673. Luffy is through first. On to Chaos. Darkmoon still in the fight. 9 hits, 581. Darkmoon is through to Chaos. Luffy got there first, but this fight's going to have one speed. It's going to be hold A and hope nothing happens. Nuclear is, weirdly as it sounds, a good result there. 4 hits, 248 is not the greatest. 5 hits, 683, that's better. Incoming punch, we don't want to see those on account of that 450 damage. 5 hits, 697. Here comes fire 2. That's something we want to see. Can we get there? Incoming nuke takes us down to 36 health, but one more punch. 5 hits, 588. Oh, God, Chaos is still there, but we get turn order. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, you are the chosen one. Oh, Darkmoon going with the sensible Invis 2 strats. For some reason, he doesn't want to be punched in the face for 450 damage. But the nuclear does kind of a number on his knight. His party is not looking the most healthy. This is a close to health-capped Chaos, I think. I didn't get a quick count. I was too involved looking at what was happening, hoping against hope that it would work. Incoming Blaze. The party members continue to survive. We're going to go with heal 3 strats. The final temper. Heal 3 going off. Here comes Fire 2, not going to do much. Outgoing X-Cal swing. 2 hits, 2 damage. Thanks, X-Cal. Temper goes off. So X-Cal, great weapon. Fantastic weapon. Don't use it against Chaos. Darkmoon is probably kicking himself that he didn't flip over to the Katana. 5 hits, 473. Not bad. Not quite what we want. The nuke. I mean, we survived for varying definitions of survive. We got one more heal 3 left in the chamber. Are we on chug strats? We are. We get the turn order on the heal 3. We get most of the party back to double digits. The red mage goes down, but they were basically out of healing anyway. Chug gets the knight back to over 200. Yet more chug. Oh, and the cure 4. I don't think we have the horsepower for this fight. 6 hits, 476. I mean, we're going to keep reinflating. 3 hits, 88. Incoming melee misses the black mage. That is a notable result. We're going to keep a chugging. 4 hits, 202. We need more damage than that, and we have no way to get us there. That black mage is going to throw heal potions at that fighter as long as it lives. Survives the zap. That's not bad. Here comes Lightning 2. We need him to stop casting spells. We really need him to not be casting spells anymore. We need nice, safe melee. 3 hits, 131. There's the nuke. We are not terribly far away from that Cure 4. Chaos is immensely spell happy at this point. 6 hits, 626. We needed a lot more of those prior to now. 5 hits, 208. Well, that's the second nuke. Darkmoon is exclaiming multiple things right now that are definitely safe for camera as he re-enters Topher. Luffy can't help but notice that his black belt done got detonated, but we have that life 2 totem, so everything's perfectly fine. Back to the Kraken floor. Gonna do some party jiggling. This black belt must survive. But apparently Black Magic doesn't have to survive as we put the meat shields up front. Incoming Lightning 2. Does Lightning 2 things? Lock 2 going off. We remember the evasiveness. Test Punch. 5 at 683. We could probably get through on the next round. Second Lock 2 goes off. We're on Lightning 3, Fade, and Punch. Lightning 3 for not much. Fade for 144. Do we get the Punch? We do. 6 at 667. Whole party makes it through Kraken 2. We've made it to Tier 2. Punch, 8 hits, 952. Lock 2, sure. Incoming Ice 2 ain't going to do much. Does actually kind of a lot to that red mage. That's surprising. Second Lock 2 goes off. We're on. Wait, punch, wait. Punch, 10 hits, 843. Down goes Tier 2. We're now bringing a full party to Chaos. Let's see if that affects the results any. It's at least significantly more likely that we're not going to get decked in the face for 500 damage. Meanwhile, Darkmoon, very unhappy that his ablative meat shield has gone down prior to its destined fate of standing in the way of a Kraken 2. But here we are, is Chaos time. We got double Lock 2. We got Punch, and I think we got to wait. Yeah, we got to wait. Fire 2 goes off. Lock 2 goes off. Lock 2 goes off. Y'all got any fasts? Possibly not. 4, it's 559. I see why we're doing the lock. Cheeky Zap. Final level 5 spell on Lock 2. A test Cure 3. Here comes the nuke. Does the White Mage survive? It does. We're going to undo some of that. 6, it's 527. Chaos still there. Nuke goes off. Or, sorry, Cure 3 goes off. Lock 2 also goes off. We're on Fade. And that Cure 3 totem's going to go as long as it can. Fade goes out. 262. Cure 3 goes off. Incoming Punch detonates the red mage. Punch. 10 hits, 460. Not spectacular. Final Cure 3 on deck. Goes off early. 7 hits, 109. There's the Cure 4. Luffy gets the news. Reb goes off. White Mage melee. 1 hit, 1 miss. 9 hits, 896. The black belt is starting to get into gear, but we're having to outrun this spell list, and more importantly, outrun being punched in the face. Zap goes off. We dodge it. 8 hits, 488. The punching continues. Incoming melee, 386. Takes us down to 474. Incoming melee, 418. Takes us down to under 60. 9 hits, 503. Do we get one more punch? Do we get through? 6 is 506. We don't make it through. Lightning 2 takes us down to 34. We get turn order again. 5 it's 466. No. Oh. About that power gauntlet. Luffy says, yep. I hear 50 is nice this time of year. Darkmoon steps up to the speed bump plate. Fade goes out. Swing goes out. Speed bump's gone away. Are we digging? Are we leveling for fast charges? Is our black mage... Maybe that's what the problem is. Our black mage was so low that we didn't have access to a fast. So we're just going to level, just party grind real quick, just so we can get access to, like, a whole fast charge to see if that gets us through that wall of chaos. We're checking with every level. We ain't there yet. We're almost there. We're very nearly there. Darkmoon, back to the carry 2 fight. The ablative meat shield has gone down. Comment in chat, it feels like Luffy must have been close. I agree. He got a lot more free turns at the end than I was expecting and still didn't make it through. So I agree with this, like we need fast. Temperance would be nice too, but like we need fast. And it's worth noting that as far as party grind tiles go, I feel like this is the best one that we found. If we didn't want to do a third floor grind, this is the best that we were going to hope for. Dark Moon up to the Kraken 2 fight. Going with Invis strats. Fast goes on that night. Invis 2 goes off. Swing goes out. 3 is 414. Incoming melee takes the knight down to under 200. Question chat, what sword does Dark Moon have? That is the XCal -1. 3, it's 484. Kraken still there. Invis 2 continuing to apply evasion to the party. Incoming melee, 9 hits, 503. Down goes Kraken. Dark Moon's party lacking the life spell, so that's a reset. So Luffy back on the scene. I can only assume that that Black Mage has at least one level of, or one charge fast now. Looks like Dark Moon is opting for the third floor grind. I must have missed a reset if we did. So with Dark Moon opting for the third floor grind, the race is once again back into Luffy's hands. Let's see how we deal with the Fiends this time. So we've got a very obvious lose condition. If we lose both the white and the black mage, then I feel like we're in auto reset territory. Like if we lose just the white mage, we're fine until the black mage goes down. If we lose just the black mage, we're fine. We got a life 2 totem. We're fading the Gurmedusas because we don't like stone touch. Hey, look at Lich. Goodbye, Lich. Back to the carry 2 plate. Fade goes out. Lock goes out. Incoming melee hits the black belt, but it's still there. 8 at 710. Carry still there. Gonna go with some emergency cure strats. Hope a fade pushes us over the top. Fade for 208. It does not. Red mage detonated. That's okay. We got life 2. Cure 3 goes off. Lightning 3 goes off for 48. One more punch. 9 hits. 984. Down goes carry 2. All right. So, as Chad is pointing out, it looks like choosing sea over sky is likely to be the deciding factor because it is worth knowing Dark Moon is unaware of the existence of the black belt in sea because he never went there. Black belt is, or Dark Moon is like you're never going to check sea hoping it's a black belt. You'll third floor grind to 50 before you even bother with that. At least the party planner is runnable. Yeah, isn't the everything in the flag set's runnable? See, it's fine. Everything's good. Darkmoon headed back downstairs, done with the third floor grind for now. Luffy approaching Kraken. Prioritizing the black belt and the white mage for survival. The punch goes out before the lock 2s, but we still get 5 hits for 849. Still impressive. Lock 2 detonates the black mage. It's fine, we can reinflate it in a minute. Lock 2 goes off. We're on fade strats. Fade punch weight. Here comes the punch. 6 hits, 729. Down goes Kraken 2. White mage still up. Everything's fine. We only have one more charge of life 2. We're protecting the 2 most important mages. We're going to try and say no to hugs. Incoming melee to the white mage doesn't do much. We're gonna be nice and cautious and continue to protect the black belt. Both mages casting lock 2. 10 hits, 814. Tia still there. 2 lock 2s going off. Incoming ice 2. Ain't doing much. Wait, fade, nuke, wait. Well, I say nuke, it's more like a punch. Black mage gets detonated, that's fine. We got one more life 2. Punch. 10 at 681, down goes Tia. We have the 1 required life 2 charge necessary for this. And we are now configured for the chaos fight. Red mage meat shield at the front. Black belt just behind that. No. White mage to the front. The white mage, after all, being almost entirely out of resources. This is a good pivot. Let's begin. We got some weight, some lock 2, and the all-important fast. Fire 2 comes out first. Is not going to detonate that black mage, so we're going to get the fast off. Lock 2 goes out. Test punch. 7 hits, 119. Awkward. Fast goes off. We got Cure 3s. Now's the time to use them while we got them. More lock 2s. We don't have any tempers, so more lock 2s. Lock 2 goes off. Next punch. 15 hits, 816. That seems good. Nuke goes out. Black mage goes down, but his job is done. More lock 2s going out. Cure 3 to the only important party member. It's the black mage. Final lock 2 going out. There's the Cure 4. This was known. This is fine. We restart the counter now. 17 hits, 656. A good start. Cure 3 goes off. Rub misses the white mage. Fade goes out for 111. Bonch. 17 hits, 1,511 damage. Chaos is still there. Fade goes out for 128. Incoming fire 3. Gets rid of the meat shield. Red mage down to 1 knee. 19 hits, 960. Chaos still there. Let's try that again. 17 hits, 1,024 damage. LuffyDV finishing in first place. Right around the 1 hour 27 even mark. Darkmoon concedes immediately. He has decided, nope, we're done with this. I'm going to see if we can get some kind of interview thing happening over here. I'm new here. I'm in a chair that's not mine. We're going to see if we can get some interview stuff going. Y'all want to try interviews? Y'all want to do interviews? Yeah. Yeah. All right, and walking over to the booth. Microphone's over there. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Let me just slide over real quick.
Ugh.
Howdy, gents.
Oh, hi.
How'd that go?
Kicking myself for not doing the Vorpal.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I got into the fight. I saw the yellow swing, and I'm like, I know what I didn't do there. Hey.
I assume you mean the katana, because the katana rolled up. Vorpal, I think. Did you have
Fighter
the katana?
couldn't use a katana.
Fighter had legendary weapon. Don't worry, it didn't matter the first
My brain
time.
didn't see it. It would have mattered to me. I would have used the katana the whole time and probably would have gotten through that fight. My brain did not see legendary weapon. That's why I wouldn't have been using the Exhale. I honestly would have stopped checking chests about 10 minutes earlier if I'd actually seen that. So. Oh, well.
Yep. So.
Wow, I hate that now. Thanks for that news. You could have kept that to yourself, you know.
Fair's fair.
I have questions. I've been talking to myself for an hour and a half. I have questions.
All of your questions are answered by Darkmoon can't read. Okay. It's gonna go right up there with he never buys Fade either. I swear.
So, more things that I think you're going to be unhappy to hear. There was a pivotal difference in the seed.
Okay.
You did Sky.
Yeah.
Luffy did C.
Okay.
One of those had a black belt.
I think it feels less pivotal to me. I know that you won with the black belt eventually. That feels
Eventually.
less pivotal to me, though. I mean, like, my health was good. Had I realized I could use the katana, that would have been nice. But, like I was... Chaos was... The Cure 4 sucked, but even after that, I got, like, close to $2,000 damage in there. Like, if he rolled low, would have been fine. If I'd used the katana, I wouldn't need him to roll low.
It felt like he had somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500.
It was up there, yeah.
Because I did like 25 the first time with the black belt, and it wasn't enough. And then it was about the same the second time, and still wasn't enough.
2 invises and he couldn't hit me. So it was just the spells that were... And he had a lot of spells.
Yeah.
But it was the spells that were doing it. I think with the katana on the fighter, I would have been fine. Or even just using the Vorpal -3 that I went back for a couple times. So, say Levy.
Luffy, mage tile grind.
There was nothing else there, and then when I got rubbed through a ribbon and a pro ring by the metal slimes, I just said, well, you know what? We're just gonna forget that happened and keep going. And then we're gonna go to ice and we're gonna see, is there anything here? And the mages were like, a 4-pack was like 13K. I'm like, I'm taking this to 42. If the fighter doesn't work, I'm going and getting the black belt. I'm just not messing around. And it didn't matter because I wasn't messing around. I still died 3 times.
Not gonna lie, if the Frosties had been a little easier for me to kill one man, I probably would have sat there in the first 10 minutes and just gone to like 25, 28, just right there. I'm like, they're here.
I should have sat on them.
Yeah, see?
I dropped
did
down
like,
looking for something
I think
better.
I went to like level 14 on them on my second dive into ice after
You
I
were
got
you were
destroyed.
on like 15, 16 party wide coming out of ice.
Yeah.
Well, I say
two
party
party.
wide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the party wide.
Black belt was just there.
Yeah. Game 2 later today.
In a few minutes, whenever we're all back together
Yeah,
again.
10
Yeah.
minutes.
Slightly longer than that, but not by much. So
Half hour good? Doesn't
half hour's
matter.
good. Darkmoon, any plans for adjustment going into game 2?
Reading the blurstings and making sure I know that legendary weapon's wrong. Otherwise, no, I felt good. I don't know how far behind I was for him when I got into Toe for the first time.
You were first into Topher by around 2 minutes.
Then the answer is no. I'm not going to change anything else. That feels good. Thanks.
Luffy, any adjustments for game 2?
No, I think that the magic really made this difficult with